Hi friends, let us see how to knit a cropped t-shirt sort of blouse using woolen yarn to be worn by women during summer days, that is when the winter is not that harsh. This cropped t-shirt is knit from top and to the bottom by developing shoulders on both sides and then adding on stitches for the sleeves. Now let us get into the video part by part as to how the neck portion is to be formed. This is actually 37 inches burst size with approximately 35 centimeters height from the cast on edge to the bottom, and from the shoulders it is 17.5 centimeters the sleeve size, and the width of the sleeve is also 17 centimeters. So it will not be just a tight fitting t-shirt, it will be a loose fitting. Similarly, it will not be too much of loose fitting also. Initially we cast on 86 stitches for the neck formation using the circular needle. I used 3 mm circular needle and 4 mm circular needle. Two sorts of circular needles are required for this. I have also used 3-ply DK yarn. For doing this, we may be requiring, as I already said to you, 2 circular needles, that is 3 mm circular needle, 4 mm circular needle, 3-ply DK yarn, some few pieces of scrap yarn for casting on additional stitches wherever we need, here, here, here. Apart from this, we need 4 markers, a scissor and a tapestry needle. So as I already said, using the 3 mm needle we should initially cast on 86 stitches and join the stitches to form in the shape of a round, so that when you knit continuously the neck formation is done automatically. So there I used rib stitch with 1 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl. All the 86 stitches I did around 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines I did. So it will give a good appearance of a thick band circling around the neck of the person whomsoever is wearing it. After forming the initial 86 knots, that is casting on the initial 86 knots, we have to place the marker in the needle and continue knitting, so that we know as to from where we have started the work. We have stitched up to this, and now using the scrap yarn we must cast on 11 knots on the needle, working needle, and cut off the end of the scrap yarn once the stitches have been 11 additional stitches have been casted on, and tie it properly so that the stitches do not get removed off the working needle. Now using the 4 mm circular needle, purl all 11 knots that which we have casted on using a fresh piece of scrap yarn. Also purl 2 more knots on the circular neck that we have already formed. So 11 stitches, that is that which we have casted on, those 11 must be purled. In addition to that, 2 stitches from the neck side. So totally 13 stitches we will be purling using the 4 mm needle, and then immediately turn the work, putting the yarn to the back side. Now we have to knit continuously 15 stitches using the circular needle, and then again turn. Before that, I slipped one center line here. We have to slip after having knit the 11 purl, after having purled the 11 plus 2 13 knots. When we turn it back, we'll be returning 13 stitches, knitting 13 stitches in the same direction using the same 4 mm needle. After that, the next line will be slip the first stitch and then start purling 14 stitches. So we have only 13 stitches purled, from out of which we are slipping the first stitch. So remaining 12 stitches we will be purling, and additionally 2 more stitches from the next 2 knots we will be adding. So 15 purls we will be continuously making. So these 15 purls that which we have knitted now need to be purled back. So 15 purls. Again you turn, slip the first stitch, excluding that knit 15 more purls. So you will be already, you would have purled 15 stitches, 1 you are slipping, you have only 14. Additionally 2 more you have to take from the next side. NECK, neck's base that which we have created, from that we have to take additional stitches for purling, and return all the 16 stitches using 4 mm circular needle by doing purl. After that, again we have to do 17 stitches. How? Same way, first stitch will be slip stitch, remaining 15 stitches will be casting on, that is will be purling on the wrong direction. So 1 slipped plus 16, that will be 17. So again you return all those 17 knit stitches. Now the next line will be slip the first stitch and purl 18, and again reverse all the 19 stitches using 4 mm needle. The next step will be similar, slip the first stitch, purl the next 20 and return 21 knit stitches. After that, slip the first stitch, purl 22 using the 4 mm needle, and cut the working yarn, with which what will happen, you would have created the base required for the one side of the shoulder. Now after having cutting the working yarn by leaving sufficient length for weaving or interspinning, whatever way you call it, spell it later. Now you have to slip 31 stitches from the 3 mm circular needle to the 4 mm circular needle. Now after having slipped all the 31 stitches from 3 mm needle to 4 mm needle, turn the work using the other end of the 3 mm circular needle, and using another scrap piece of yarn, cast on 11 knots for forming the other side of the shoulder, and cut off the scrap yarn and tie it firmly. So now using 4 mm circular needle, knit all the 11 knots casted using scrap yarn on the other side of the 3 mm circular needle, and additionally knit 2 more stitches from the neck's base formed in 3 mm circular needle and turn. Now similarly, like how you have done for here, up to 22 stitches, front back, front back, front back, front back, taking every step 2 more stitches, slipping 1 stitch from here, adding 2 more stitches, knitting all them, again slipping 1, taking back fully, purling 2 more, knitting back fully, again slipping first stitch, purling everything, adding 2 more, like that. When you reach 22 stitches, cut the working yarn having sufficient length, and for interweaving or interspinning, whatever be the case, to be used at a later stage. So now both sides of your shoulders have also been formed. Now, like what we have done, we have slipped 31 stitches from the 3 mm working needle to the 4 mm working needle for forming this side folder, that is this portion, and we have reached here because we have slipped and we have created this base. So some more stitches will be left here. No, those stitches are also to be slipped onto the 4 mm circular needle. With this, we have formed round neck with back shoulder for both left and right arms. Now we'll be doing round 1 using 3 mm needle by picking up 11 stitches that which we have casted on using the first piece of scrap yarn from the cast on edge. Now using the regular working yarn skein, purl 54 stitches in 4 mm circular needle. Now using after having purled all the 54 stitches using 4 mm circular needle, using the 3 mm circular needle, pick up 11 stitches casted on using the second piece of scrap yarn from the other side of the cast on edge. Now again using the 4 mm circular needle, purl all 11 picked up stitches and turn your work. Now you will start round 2. Slip the first stitch and knit next 64 stitches using the 4 mm circular needle and turn. Now round number 3. Slip the first stitch and purl next 64 stitches using 4 mm circular needle and turn. Repeat these rounds 2 and 3 till you have knitted 9 rows from the cast on edge. From here you would have knit 9 rows. So that will give you something like this. This much portion would have been readied by then. After that, round 10. Now slip the first stitch and knit all the stitches till last but one stitch. Place a marker and knit the last stitch. Now pick up next 10 stitches, knit 1 stitch and place second marker. We have to just pick up the stitches, we should not knit them. Now knit 63 stitches, place third marker and knit 1 stitch. Now pick up next 10 stitches, knit 1 stitch and place the fourth marker. This way we would have formed both the sleeves plus body of the cropped t-shirt. We would have marked the initial places from where the rest of the things will be formed in the cropped t-shirt. Now knit all the 63 stitches, transfer all corresponding markers and complete one round by knitting all stitches. So we have 4 markers, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We will be completing one round front and back. With this we have done about 11 rounds. Now I am calling it as step 1, the next stage. Transfer the first marker to the working needle, make one stitch right, knit all stitches till the second marker, make one stitch left, knit one stitch, then make one stitch to your right, then knit till last one stitch before the third marker. Now make one stitch on your left, knit one, make one stitch on your right, then knit all stitches till the fourth marker, make one stitch left, knit one, make one stitch on your right, then knit till last one stitch before the first marker, make one stitch onto your left and knit to complete the first step. The second step is knit all stitches by transferring all corresponding markers. So you are forming the second round in the fresh step. Now repeat these steps 1 and 2 until the knitted piece measures 12 centimeters in length from the cast on edge, approximately up to this 12 centimeters. Now the third step, place the first marker, make one stitch to your right, knit all stitches till second marker, make one stitch to your left, knit one stitch, make one stitch to your right, knit till last one stitch before third marker, make one stitch to your left, knit one stitch, make one stitch to your right, knit all stitches till fourth marker, make one stitch left, knit one stitch, make one stitch right, again knit till last one stitch before the first marker, again make one stitch left and then knit the last stitch. With this the step 3 completes. Step 4, as already done for the second step, it is simply knit all stitches by transferring all corresponding markers continuously to form the round. Now repeat these steps 3 and 4 until the knitted piece from the cast on edge measures 17 centimeters. From cast on edge 17 centimeters the length. Now remove the first marker, slip all stitches till second marker in another scrap piece of yarn and tie both ends by keeping the slipped stitches freely to move for transfer to a needle at a later stage, and also remove the second marker. Similarly, using another piece of scrap yarn, cast on 6 stitches on the left side tip of the 4 mm circular needle, that you are creating the base for your arm, underarm portion. Now turn and knit all 6 newly casted on stitches and also knit all remaining stitches till the next marker, which otherwise was our third marker, and remove the third marker from the 4 mm circular needle. Now slip all stitches till the next marker, which otherwise was our fourth marker, in another scrap piece of yarn and tie both ends of the scrap yarn, keeping the slipped stitches to move freely for transfer to another ladle at a later time for for knitting the sleeve, and also remove the last, that is the fourth marker of our 4 mm circular needle. Now, using another scrap piece of yarn, cast on 6 stitches on the left side tip of the 4 mm circular needle. Turn, place a marker, and using 4 mm circular needle, knit all newly casted on 6 stitches and also knit all remaining stitches in rounds till the marker, until the knitted piece measures 10 centimeters from the cast on edge. From this portion up till this, approximately 10 centimeters. Now we will be working actually on the bust portion of the cropped t-shirt. So I thought it wise to make it a ribbed portion, so it will give furthermore little bit of expansion to fit best in the body and to give the comfort, to be on the comfort zone as well. For this, now start rib pattern, that is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 till the last stitch of the round, and repeat the pattern, that is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 for next 10 centimeters in rounds until the knitted piece totally measures 20 centimeters from the cast on edge, that is from here up to this, approximately 20 centimeters. 10 centimeters plain that we have initially knit. Now a ribbed portion for the bust, actually 10 plus 10, it will be 20. After that, now start letting all the ribbed stitches continuously in rounds for the next 10 centimeters. This will give a sort of tightness to the, what I should say, cropped t-shirt, and will not just get removed that freely. After having knit these 10 centimeters also, totally from the cast on portion, it will be approximately 30 centimeters in length from here till this portion. Now what we have after this, we'll be doing one single round on 3 mm needle. We will be transferring all the knots from our 4 mm needle to 3 mm needle, and we will be knitting one round, and after that we will be knitting approximately 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 rounds continuously using the same rib pattern, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 in rounds till the total measurement, that is from the next cast on portion till the last, approximately 35 centimeters in length, and then cast off using the same way, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and leaving sufficient length of yarn, cut it for interweaving or interspinning at a later time when we finish it finally. Now we have to concentrate on the stitching, that is knitting our left sleeve. For this, whatever knots that we have placed in the scrap yarn, we have to move them back to 4 mm circular needle from the scrap piece of yarn by untying its knot. After that, place the marker at the right tip of the 4 mm circular needle, knit all remaining stitches, and also knit 7 stitches from the cast on edge. Now join working in round and start knitting 8 more rounds using 4 mm circular needle. Now we have to change from 4 mm to 3 mm circular needle and knit one round. By this we would have reached up till here. This portion would have covered. Now the border portion we have to start. For this, start rip pattern using the same knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one technique until the last stitch in round for next 10 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rounds. And cast off using similar knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one pattern till the last stitch, and cut off the working yarn, leaving sufficient length for weaving or interspinning, whatever you call, at a later time when we finally settle the cropped t-shirt. Similarly, knit the right sleeve as we have done for left sleeve. Cast off using knit one, purl one pattern and cut off the working yarn, leaving sufficient length for weaving or interspinning at a later time. Now, since our sleeves have also been formed, body of the cropped t-shirt is also over, remove all pieces of scrap yarns that which we have used for casting on initially 11 stitches, for underarm 6 stitches. Those 4 pieces of scrap yarns, you remove them and weave or interspin all the leftover tail ends of all cut off working yarns through the body of the cropped t-shirt. While weaving, we must make sure that the edge of the cut off working yarn is not visible outside, and give it a little bit of stretch so that it gets inserted within and remains peacefully there. Now, since we have completed the cropped t-shirt, I would like to tell you one thing. You can increase or decrease the cast on stitches suiting one's own bust size, gauge of the yarn being used for knitting. Always test check the gauge of working yarn by knitting a small swatch of 1 inch by 1 inch to actually know the number of knots that would befit in an inch length, and to know how many rows are being formed per inch in height, and work out your size accordingly. Thanks for having watched this cropped t-shirt knitting video. If you like this, kindly click the like button, and if you wish, kindly share it with your friends. Happy knitting, one and all. Let the Easter that which has gone by bring peace, joy and lust in all your families. Happy knitting and regards. Signing off, your friend. Bye bye.